let's not waste a moment here. We've got Joe Zepecki standing by to talk to us. Well, usually he's joining us on Thursday to talk about stuff in the news. Maybe it's time. It's time that Joe make a little news. So, hello, Joe. How are you?
I'm good. I'm a little tired. It has been a long couple of days, not enough sleep, but that's okay. It's
Well,
worth it because of
it
what comes next.
if well that would be par for the course if you decide to run for state chair of the Democratic Party of Wisconsin, which you said last week you were interested in. So, how's that interest level now, Joe? Will you or won't you?
Well, you put the news up front. I'm in.
All
We're going
right.
to do this thing. And, it's taken a week because I wanted to talk to people across the state from every corner, across our coalition, north, south, east, west, rural, urban, black, white, Latino, AAPI, you name it. We have a big, beautiful coalition, the Democratic Party, and we need every single part of it to win. And that's what this contest for WisDems chair is about. It is about building on what Ben Wickler and his team have succeeded on in the last 6 years. It's about refining the way that we organize and the way that we support local parties and local organizations. And it's about fundamentally rebuilding the way we communicate as a party. There is a real appetite for that. There is a real appetite for a fresh perspective and someone from outside the direct party apparatus, which is the perspective that I bring to this. And I'm just overwhelmed to have the support and encouragement, not just of people I've been talking to, but of the first 20 people who are day one endorsers. They are on the team, and that is part of today's news. And I'm happy to get into that, but it was important to me to be with you like I am every Thursday, because we got to keep our word and we got to reach out way beyond Madison and Milwaukee to strengthen our party and grow and win elections. And that's why Up North is so important. It's why Civic Media is so important. And so I just appreciate you having me on and doing all the work all these years.
Well, you've clearly done some of the work, because this is quite the list of day one endorsers, ranging from a former state chair, Linda Honold, to state rep Fran Hong from Madison, former rep Stan Grzinski, Aaron Forrest, former Emerge Wisconsin executive director, Angela Lang from Block, Dr. Kristen Lyerly, we all know her, former regent John Miller, former Wausau Mayor Katie Rosenberg, former One Wisconsin Now executive director Scott Ross, State Rep Chris Sinicki, who is also the Milwaukee Democratic Party chair, and the former Milwaukee Democratic Party chair Chris Walton, and on the list goes. Why are these folks there? I mean, a lot of folks know you, a lot of folks like you, but you have to be able to message, you have to be able to organize, you have to be able to fundraise. What is it that you would like to think all these folks are seeing in you?
Well, I think and hope that they have built trust in when I say something, I mean it. When I commit to something, I do it. And we don't have time for anything but that. And one of the things that I want to say right up top is one of my top priorities is making sure that the race to succeed Ben Wickler does not divide our party, that we do not fracture. The way I've been putting it, I talked to all three of the other candidates in this race last night and told them, this is about more than who is the next chair of the Democratic Party. It's that whoever is the next chair has so much work to do, so little time to waste, that we cannot afford to have whoever it is waste time trying to stitch the party back together. And I think the folks who are with me already and the folks who encouraged me to get into this and who are thinking about joining the team maybe on day two, they understand that I am someone who tries to see the whole field, that knows it's not about the four of us individuals who are running for chair today. Maybe there will be more. It is really about the broader party. It is about building the party county by county. It is about winning elections and ensuring that every single day we are taking the fight to MAGA, Donald Trump, and the Republicans who are enabling him to do the most un-American things you can imagine. This is a 5-alarm fire. It feels like we have been living in that kind of alarm for way too long. It is exhausting. Sometimes people need to tap out. My approach to that is you got to build a bigger team so that people can take a play off, and we all got to do more We all got to do everything we can. One of the things that I think I can do is help be a voice that puts this party, on an even surer footing going forward. And I think the folks who are with me understood the nuance of what I was saying. There are things that Ben Wickler and his crew have done that we don't need to monkey with. The fundraising success has led to a lot of electoral success. We're going to leave that as close to exactly what it is as we can. When it comes to how we organize year round and how we support local parties, it's good. It's not perfect. There are county parties who need more support, who want to grow and do more things and innovate and have more autonomy. And that's a conversation we need to have. And those are refinements we can make and adjustments we can make. And when it comes to how we communicate, we got to kind of burn it down and start all over. And we got to be really clear-eyed about that. We have a messaging problem, and it's broader than just the words we use and the order in which we put them. And I can't wait to get to work changing the culture and building out the way we communicate.
We're talking to Joe Zepecki, who is thrown his hat in the ring to run for state chair of the Democratic Party of Wisconsin. Pick your metaphor. It's either walking and chewing gum at the same time, threading the needle, the right sets of balance. What I'm getting at is taking the fight to Republicans, pointing out the many foibles of Donald Trump, Robin Vos, and all that, versus being proactive with this message of this is what Democrats are for. And it seems like any discussion about Democratic messaging leads to that. Like too much time is being spent on one or the other. We talk every Thursday morning about finding that balance. How do you communicate the way that you feel like you can strike the right balance for voters, that they get that you're anti-Trump, but that you're also for them?
You have to do both all the time, every day. And what I mean by that is there are people in our movement and in our coalition who are outraged, rightly, every single day by what Donald Trump is doing. They need to be empowered to go and say that and say why with credibility and authenticity because they care about it. And there are people who are part of movement politics and part of the progressive movement who do it because they want to make public policy at the local level, at the state level, at the federal level. And that is where their passion is. We need them to communicate that and feel empowered to be a messenger for what we're trying to build here. You have to do both. That is the way the attention economy works. It is the way the information space works. And it is the only way to operate in an environment that is very different than when even I started my career. And without getting into how old you are, buddy, when you started your career too.
Yes. I was just having that conversation yesterday with your wife on Climate Check about issues that were an issue 20 years ago now when I was running for legislature, and how some things have changed over time. Joe Zepecki is our guest. He is running for chair of the state Democratic Party here in Wisconsin. We are going to continue that conversation in just a moment. This is another one from Jan Hammer, not just the Miami Vice theme, but this one's called Crockett's theme for Miami Vice. He turns 77 years old today. You can catch our daily history lesson every morning at 6:50 here on Up North News Radio, which is growing and changing next week. Growing to a 3-hour show with a new name to boot. So stay tuned next week for some changes to this fine morning radio program. And thank you for all your support to get us there. Joe Zepecki is with us. He is running for state Democratic Party chair. The reactions are coming in online on YouTube. Tony writes, I was hoping Joe would have a show on Civic Media, but I guess party chair is an okay second option. From Alicia on YouTube, I'm so glad Joe is running. Thank you for putting your name out there. On Facebook, Tear Bear says, thank you, Joe, for your insightfulness and for being a positive voice and for running. And Ardith on Facebook, so glad you decided to run. I think you can get the message out there for all of Wisconsin to clearly understand. We need to unite the Dems to push the Republicans out of office. You also have a great partner in Melissa who proved at the Overture Center that she knows how to message. Best of luck. To which people are going to say, should Melissa be running instead? And to which we say, she probably had the opportunity, but decided you're the one who can handle whatever all of this is, arm gesturing widely to being a state party chair.
It can be said fairly that this may have been her idea. Melissa
she is the smart one.
Melissa is someone who a lot of many of you listen to every week. What people may not know is that when she and I first met, she was working for the state party, and I was, working on the Obama, Biden, and Mary Burke campaigns in 2012 and 2014, and that is where a friendship blossomed that would later grow into something else. But she's got some experience both inside the party structure and working for folks like Governor Tony Evers. She's the best.
Yeah, she really is.
I'm honored to have her support. You can never assume that kind of thing.
I didn't see her on the list of endorsers, but I'm thinking it was understood, so it's okay. Joe, the next state party chair is going to have to keep their eye on the ball on several different things. There's going to be a governor's race in 2026 with us not knowing, at least for the next couple months at least, whether Tony Evers is running for a third term or if it's going to be an open seat. You've got, with new maps, Democrats with the potential to take the majority in the Assembly and or the state Senate. You're going to have targeted congressional districts. We're talking to Emily Berge in about 10 minutes here about running in the 3rd Congressional District. And before all of that, there will be another state Supreme Court race in April of next year where conservative Justice Rebecca Bradley is going to be running for re-election. Talk about the challenge of a party that needs to keep many plates spinning at once.
Well, it's a challenge we are used to here in Wisconsin because it is always election season in Wisconsin, it seems like. And it doesn't just seem like it to those folks who are besieged by 30-second TV ads. There's a lot more that goes into it. It's the work of the neighborhood teams. It's the work of local county parties to grow their membership. It's actions to oppose the Trump administration, to bring new people into the party at the local level, however they're ready to join. Not everybody who is, been moved to feel like they need to do something by Donald Trump and this administration is ready on day one to go knock on strangers' doors and talk to them about what's at stake next November or next April. And that's okay. We need to build a party that is inclusive enough and has enough ways to make people feel part of the team that on day one, they can get to work. And we can point their energy and their passion in a direction, whether that is reaching out to members of Congress. It only takes a couple Republican votes to stop the Trump agenda from being enacted into law. And by the way, executive order after executive order is not enacting it into law. It's not. That's not how the Constitution works. It only takes a couple of Republicans to grow a spine and assert their constitutional authority to be a check on an un-American, unlawful administration. And that looks lots of different ways. And we have to be able to be a place where everybody can find a home and feel like they are part of the team. That's what I'm committed to doing.
Now, then, to wrap things up here from an organizational standpoint, one of my, one of the bees in my bonnet has been the ongoing, almost natural tension between the Madison-Milwaukee wing of the party and Democrats all throughout the western or the rest of Wisconsin who sometimes either feel overlooked or take it for granted. So can you tell us a bit about your experiences and your feelings at the local organizational level, not just where most of the Democratic voters are, but where all the rest of the Democratic voters are?
Yeah, this is where maybe my bluntness could work against me, and I don't care because we don't have that kind of time. Anybody and everybody can say, and they will say, that they care about places beyond Madison and Milwaukee. Don't listen to what they say. Watch what they do. And what I have done over the last week is talk to people from every corner of the state, have worked to win the support of people from every corner of the state. I did one listening session where I sat down with some county party members and activists and leaders. Our friend Dr. Lyerly was helpful enough to put that together for me. And it was in Brown County because we need to be hearing voices from across the coalition. I am not just talking about it. I am trying to model it and embody it and watch the way that we do this. When we bring voices to the table with different perspectives, we get better outcomes. So whether you are black, white, old, young, working, retired, rural, urban, suburban, it takes all of us moving in the same direction. Sometimes that gets messy. Sometimes people have different priorities. But when we're at the table together, when we're communicating clearly with one another, when we're willing to have hard conversations, we are going to get to a place where we can make choices as a team, move forward, and know that everybody is coming from the right place. That's the job of party chair is to not just talk about it, but to demonstrate it. And that's what I'm committing to do between now and June 15th, when this election is held. If you want to be a part of that election, make sure you're a party member. Make sure you are signed up to be a delegate to the convention. There's plenty of time to do that. And that's how we move this forward. And I genuinely mean that. Whether I'm your first choice or whether someone else is, we need more people moving in the same direction and on the team. That's how we get this done.
There's definitely time for that. The WisDems 2025 convention will be at the Chula Vista Resort, June 14th and 15th. Learn more by heading to the state party website, wisdems.org, and then click on convention while you're at the homepage. Joe Zepecki,
and real quick, I got to do it. And if you want to learn more about me, if you want to join the team, joezepecki.com.
joezepecki.com. There you go. Joe, thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for sharing the first word with us. Good luck to you.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you.